looking at a question here that is from section 2.2 on my math lab, and the question asks us to take z plus 8 and cube it. So the first thing I will do is, since I'm cubing it, I'm really multiplying it by itself 3 times. So I have z plus 8 times z plus 8 times z plus 8. That's what it means to cube something, is to multiply it by itself 3 times. Then, because I can only do 2 of those at a time, I'm going to focus on just 2 of them right now. So I'm just going to put a box around it to say those are the 2 that I'm going to work on right now. And so I'm going to keep one of the z plus 8s that I haven't worked on, and then I'm going to work inside this box for the other portion of it right now. Okay, so just the other portion. We're going to take the first z and multiply it by both parts of the second parenthesis. So z times z is z squared, and then z times 8 is plus 8z. That finishes z's job. Z has been multiplied by both z and 8. Now we move on to 8. So we finished the z, we're going to move on to 8. We're going to take the 8 and multiply by both parts of the parenthesis. So 8 times z is plus 8z, and then 8 times 8 is 64. Okay. So I'll put my parentheses back here. That is z plus 8 times z plus 8, or z plus 8 squared. So they've noted theirs over here as z plus 8 squared. That's the part we did first, the z plus 8 squared. Now that that part is finished, we're ready to take the, well, actually it's not finished now that I think about it. I'm going to copy that real quick. The only thing that I could do to finish it is to combine the like terms in the middle here. I have 8z plus 8z, so I should condense that to 16z. Now that first step is actually finished, and we're ready to continue. So we're going to take the z plus 8 on the outside here, the third one, and multiply it into the trinomial, the 3 term that I got from the first part of the product. All right, so beginning, we're going to do z, and we're going to multiply by all 3 of these pieces. First of all, z times z squared. Z power 1, z power 2, so add the powers. That's going to give me z to the power 3. Z times z squared is z cubed. Okay, so now we're going to move on to z times 16z. So it's going to be 16z squared. Z times z, power 1 adds to power 2. So I forgot to put the z there. 16z squared. And then last, our z times the 64 will be plus 64z. All right, so that finishes z. All 3 pieces got multiplied by z. Now we're on to 8. Okay, so 8 times z squared is 8z squared. And then 8 times 16z is, let's figure out what 8 times 16 is. It is 128. So 128z. And then last, I need to figure out what 8 times 64 is. 8 times 64 is 512, so we'll have a plus 512. Okay. All right, I'm just going to copy part of this down here. And then for like terms, I'm going to add the 8z squared to the 16z squared. So 16 plus 8 is 24. So that'll give us 24z squared here. As I combine those two. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. 24z squared, there we go. So again, just adding those 2 pieces that are like terms, and then I have a 64 and a 128. So 64 plus 128 is 192. So we have 192z, and the z cubed and the 512 both didn't have any like terms, so that's going to be our finished answer. That's fully expanded. That's what our goal was to do, was to take this cube and fully expand it. This is my result for the fully expanded form.